Now moving on to physics, data presentation, objectives. By the end of this topic, learners should be able to present data using tallies, tables, and bar graphs. Interpret data presented in tallies, tables, and bar graphs. Those are the objectives of this topic. So let us start by defining data. In science, data refers to raw observation, measurements, or facts collected during experiments, surveys, or investigations. Scientists gather that data to analyze and draw conclusions about phenomena. Ways to present data. Data can be presented in forms of tallies, tables, or bar graphs. So, example, at Hajra Adventist Secondary School, 14 Form 1 students wrote an exam and scored the following marks. So these are the marks which they scored, and use the tally system to group the marks in grades U to A. That is the Zim's grading system. The grading system which we are going to use is this follows: range and grade. The range 0 to 39%, that's a U. 40 to 49%, that's an E. 45 to 49%, that's a D. 50 to 59, that's C. 60 to 74, that's B. And then 75 to 100%, that's A. So let us group in tally system. In 0 to 39, we have got only 2. So we write 2 straws like this. And then the range of 40 to 44, we have got only 1, which is 41%. And then the range of 45 to 49%, we have also 1, which is 46%. And then the range of 50 to 59, we have got only 2 units, so we write 2 straws. And then the range of 60 to 74, we have got 7, 5, and then 6, 7, like this. And then the last range, 75 to 100, we've got only one student who scored 91%. Take note here, if you exceed 5, you simply bundle them 1, 2, 3, 4, then you bundle the fifth straw. Advantages of the tally system: simple to use, that is easy to learn and apply even for beginners. Number 2, quick data recording, which means useful for real-time counting during surveys or observations. Number 3, clear visual representations, which means each group of 5 marks makes counting and recording easier. For like this is 5, 10, 15, 16, and 18. Number 4, helps avoid mistakes, which means reduces errors compared to writing full numbers repeatedly. Number 5, low cost, which means it requires no special equipment. Just a paper, pen, or pencil is used. Number 6, good for small data sets, which means very effective for small-scale surveys, classroom activities, or manual counting. Let us now move on to disadvantages of the tally system. It is time-consuming for large data, which means it becomes slow and tedious if there are thousands of entries. Limited detail. It only shows frequency, does not provide deeper insights like percentages or averages. Prone to human error, which means mistakes can happen when making or grouping tallies. Not ideal for digital analysis. Needs to be converted into numerical form for computer-based processing. Then it is difficult to correct, which means if a mistake is made, it may be hard to adjust without making confusions. Tables, right? Continuing with the previous example where we were using tallies, we have got our grades and frequency. Grade U with the 2, E with 1, D with 1, C with the 2, B with 7, and then grade A with 1. So the advantages of using tables is that they are organized presentation. Tables arrange data in rows and columns, making it easy to compare and understand. Point number 2, there is clarity and simplicity, which means data is displayed in a simple format that is easy to read and interpret. Advantage number 3, efficient for large data. Tables can handle large amounts of information neatly without clutter. Quick reference. Readers can easily locate specific values or trends. Advantage number 5 supports further analysis. Tables serve as a basic for creating graphs, charts, and statistical analysis, even using a computer. It allows classification. Tables helps categorize data into different groups for easier interpretation. That is the advantages of using tables. Now let us move on to the disadvantages of using tables. Disadvantages. Number 1, tables lacks visual impact, which means tables are less visually appealing and may not quickly catch attention compared to graphs or charts. Disadvantage number 2, hard for illiterate audience, which means people who cannot read numbers or text may struggle to interpret the table. Next point may be complex. If too much data is included, tables can become crowded and confusing. Next point, does not show trends clearly, which means pattern or trends like increase or decrease are less obvious compared to visual graphs. It is also time consuming to create, which means preparing detailed tables can take more time than other simple visual methods. Conclusion, tables are excellent for structured, detailed data presentation, but may need to be supplemented with charts or diagrams when communicating trends to a general audience. Using our previous example of the grading system, instead of using tallies, we've got frequency on the table. Then we can draw a bar graph like this one, which corresponds to the frequency of the grade. For example, here those with grade U, you've got 2. So the y-axis, this one resembles the number or the frequency, where the labels here represent the grades U, E, G, C, A, and B and A. As you can see, the one with the highest frequency is grade B with the 7 people scoring B. And U is 2, E is 1, G 1, C is 2, and then A is 1. So the bar graphs can be visually seen like this. That's how they differ from tables and the tally system. Advantages of bar graphs. They are easy to understand, which means bar graphs are simple to read and interpret. Even for people with little statistical knowledge, they can understand. Bar graphs also provide a clear visual comparison. They can make it easy to compare different categories according to groups at a glance. For example, here we have got this bar graph. This shows rainfall for the month from October to April. So we can see that rainfall was very low in October, increasing in November, as well as December, and the highest was in January, and it started to decrease February, March, up to April. It shows the trends and patterns, which means they can simply display patterns and trends over time when data is organized chronologically. As you can, it can also it is versatile, which means they can be used for a wide range of data types, that is quantitative and qualitative data. The bar graphs also highlights differences. That is, the length of bars clearly shows the magnitude and differences between the items. As you can see here, the length of the bar means that there's less rainfall as compared to this one, the bigger is, and so on and so on and so on. They are good for large data sets. They can display and compare many categories effectively. Now let us move on to the disadvantages of bar graphs. Bar graphs can oversimplify data, which means bar graphs may not provide detailed information about the data distribution. They can also lead to misleading representation. I mean, if the scales are not uniform or bars are manipulated, it can distort the interpretation. Not suitable for complex data. Bar graphs for very detailed or continuous data. Other graphs like histograms and line graphs are better than bar graphs. Space consuming. Bar graphs with too many categories The graph can become cluttered and hard to read, limited to certain data types. Bar graphs are best for discrete, that is separate categories, and they are not ideal for showing continuous data smoothly.
Can you invite your friends to join Mugombi Online School? You can join by visiting our website mugombionlineschool.com. For any assistance, you can contact the help desk, SMS, or call these numbers. Thank you.